Today on CityCast Philly, from the meadows of FDR Park to the Belmont Plateau, Philly has some amazing green space. There's more than 10,000 acres of parkland and lots to do there. Back in March, I chatted with someone who's hosting tours in historic mansions, night hikes, and salsa dancing lessons all around and in Philly parks. It's Tuesday, June 27th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. John Sigmund, you're the public programs manager at the Fairmount Park Conservancy. Can you tell me, how many public parks are a part of the Fairmount Park system in the city?
So Philadelphia has hundreds of parks, over 300 parks in the city. And there are smaller neighborhood parks, little squares and pocket parks. Of course, there are watershed parks and big valley parks like Wissahickon and Pennypack, FDR Park in South Philly. And then, of course, the park that gave the entire system its name, Fairmount Park. So, yeah, there's a ton of parkland. We are definitely a lucky city in terms of having such an incredible amount of parkland.
For sure. And, a great thing that I love about this park system, and I really want to also learn more about, is that there are 6 historic homes and mansions all throughout the park system. And you all have some really interesting programming that happens at these homes. We've got Cedar Grove, Laurel Hill Mansion, Lemon Hill Mansion, where I know a lot of family cookouts happen at, Mount Pleasant, Strawberry Mansion, and Woodford. And John, you're a tour guide and resident caretaker of Woodford Mansion, which is located on 33rd and Dolphin Streets. I don't know a lot of Philadelphians who actually get to live in a historic home. What's it like there? It must be pretty cool.
Oh, it's a totally amazing opportunity. I always say it's a life-changing opportunity. I guess it's not for everyone. If you really value your privacy,
okay.
I would not recommend signing up. You really are a steward of the space.
So what kinds of programs happen at the mansions?
They're open for tours, which is great for anybody that's interested in American history, colonial history, how these were the country estates of the wealthy class that needed an escape from the city, from the heat of the city. So this was sort of their very elitist form of the Jersey Shore, I guess you'd say, where they'd escape.
I like that.
No Snooki in these houses, but so it's these houses are, people visit the house to learn about what it was like living here in the colonial times. Also, many of the houses have incredible collections of antiques and objects, so people go to learn about antiques and art. And then, of course, people that are interested in architecture, these are some great examples of architecture, especially from the Georgian period and the Federal period. So architecture buffs love, even, for example, Lemon Hill doesn't have an antique collection currently, but people love visiting Lemon Hill just to see the really spacious oval rooms, which are very unique. There's very few oval rooms left in the United States. One of them is in Washington, D.C., as you may know. So people tour them for a variety of reasons. There's all sorts of programs that happen. There are thematic tours they do, sometimes for Women's History Month or Black History Month. They'll do specific tours.
The hit series Claim to Fame is back on ABC. From executive producers of Love is Blind and hosted by superstar brothers Kevin and Franklin Jonas, watch and play along as these new celebrity relatives do whatever it takes to keep their famous family a secret. Claim to Fame premieres tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
John, can you tell me what other types of programming happens throughout the Fairmount Park system?
Sure. Fairmount Park Conservancy organizes a ton of great programming in the park, mainly in Fairmount Park and FDR Park, 2 of the largest parks where we work. There's something for everybody. We are doing yoga in the park is one of our favorite activities. We also have a boating program. So we do kayaking on the Schuylkill River, on the lower Schuylkill below the falls. We also do kayaking down at FDR Park on the lakes.
That's cool.
We do guided hikes. So people with like park history or nature, for example, we do a tree identification hike that's really popular. We've partnered with the Philadelphia Mycology Club to do a fungi hike where I do mushroom identification. People love that. We do bird hikes, so bird walks. So basically, go out with an expert birder who helps steer your eyes and your ears to all the amazing birds around us. Yeah, there's so many things. Actually, another one of our really interesting events that was big for me as a caretaker because I live in the park. I'm not afraid of Park After Dark. I always used to joke with our marketing team that I should write a really salacious rated R blog called Park After Dark. Some of the shenanigans, most of it safe, that happens after hours in Fairmount Park.
I get it.
We don't need to elaborate, but
right.
But I said, hey, let's really lean into this. There's strength in numbers, and let's get out there and do some night hikes. So we've been doing full moon hikes, which are really fun. And people will use their flashlights on their phone, or if they're really feeling brave, they'll turn the light out and just let their eyes adjust and walk on the trail lit by moonlight. That's really cool. And then we've also do a stargazing party. We have Buddy Mueller, who's this great astronomer, brings out his giant telescope, and he points out, obviously lets you look at the moon up close, which is incredible, and then also points out some planets that you can see from, believe it or not, from Lemon Hill Plateau. We're up on the Lemon Hill. Sometimes we go to Belmont Plateau, and it's amazing. Right in the middle of an urban park, you can see all the way to Jupiter and Saturn. It's pretty incredible.
John, I wanted to ask you, of all of the stuff that you get to do, what's your favorite activity at the park?
Oh, you asked me to pick my favorite child. Okay, this is a hard one. But I think I know it pretty immediately because this is the event that saved me during the pandemic, restored my faith in humanity. And it's our salsa class and social dance we do at FDR Park. That's called Bailar in FDR. And for those of you who speak Spanish, Bailar in FDR means dance in FDR. Very simple name. But we have work with a DJ named DJ Val Flores, who's amazing. He runs a group called Philly Outdoor Salsa and Bachata. And every second and fourth Friday, we're at the FDR Boathouse dancing away. It's incredible. It's a really amazing thing. We have a lesson that starts around 7:30 p.m., goes for about an hour or so. So great for people of all experiences. Newcomers are welcome. And the social dance then goes on to all hours. I have to say it's one of my later park events, pushing midnight, but it's an incredible event. It's really an incredible event. It's probably draws in one of the most diverse audiences I've ever seen. People from all walks of life, all ages, races, ethnicities. It's just an amazing event. And it's, especially in light of the pandemic, it's just such a beautiful thing to see strangers dancing with each other and laughing and smiling. And of course, it's amazing to see people get dressed up and see some of the incredible dance moves. But don't be intimidated.
I was about to say, I have one little basic little two-step I could do.
Yeah. Hey, that's me too. My excuse is I have to work the door, so I can't really. Otherwise, I would be out there and
showing your moves.
The salsa king. Salsa, but no, that's not me. I have two left feet, but I do love watching it. It's amazing to watch, and honestly, I would even say that it's fun to come to, even if you don't have the courage to dance. Just come and just sort of take in the scene. We have food trucks, and it's a really fun social scene. And that's at the FDR Boathouse overlooking the lake. It's covered, so we don't have to worry about weather. And that's every second and fourth Friday.
John, I definitely have to catch one of these salsa dancing classes. But is there other ways that Philadelphians can be involved with the work that y'all are doing?
Absolutely. We depend on volunteers. One thing to keep in mind with our park system is, as we mentioned, 10,000 acres, and there is a very small crew of full-time land management people. So volunteers are the ones who really carry the weight of maintaining and beautifying our park, especially helping with the all constant issue of trash cleanup. We all as Philly people know, unfortunately, that does continue to plague our park system. And thank God for volunteers who get out there with trash bags. So I want to encourage anybody that, besides coming to programs, if you really want to get involved in the parks, join our regular volunteer work days. And you can find info on our website, myphillypark.org. And that's just like the salsa dancing. That's another way where you're just meeting a group of strangers. And by the end, you'll have a group of best friends.
I love that. John Sigmund, Public Programs Manager at the Fairmount Park Conservancy. Thank you so much for all these recommendations and for joining me on CityCast Philly.
Glad to be here.
You can explore more of our city's park system by clicking the link in our show notes. And here's what else Philly's talking about. SEPTA is set to receive $80 million in funding from the Federal Transit Administration. NBC Philadelphia reports the funds will go towards updating safety and power needs, as well as purchasing zero-emissions buses. And Governor Josh Shapiro and other state officials celebrated the workers who built the temporary lanes on I-95 in just 12 days. According to KYW, the celebration took place at Xfinity Live in South Philly. Since the disaster, the Flyers, Eagles, Phillies, 76ers, and Union have made a $50,000 donation to create a trust for Nathaniel Moody's daughter. He was the driver killed when his tanker truck caught fire under I-95, causing the highway to collapse. That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed the show, tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter too. It's called Hey Philly. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.